If you wanna be my friend, you had better go and get a pen. And maybe we can keep in touch like we did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well. Patrick Keenan of the Winter Sounds coming at you with the award-winning... Wait, what is the name? It's like with the award-winning The Pen Pals theme. I guess that is the name of that song. It should have a name, though.
How long can you breathe in? Well, no, at the beginning, I tried to see how long I could do the breathe in.
It's hard.
You breathe in way faster than you breathe out.
How long can you hold your breath?
A long time.
Can you? Underwater?
Yeah.
Because underwater changes the mental state
makes it easier
of being
or harder?
Harder.
I think it makes it easier.
I think it makes it scarier, meaning the anxiety goes higher, your heart races faster, so your breath, you're
I think I could
oxygen.
hold my breath way longer underwater than I can just sitting here.
Oh, because you could give up easily, and because you go, oh, if I just breathe, I'm fine. But with water, you're like, well, I can't just start breathing.
I don't know. There's something about just floating and having your head underwater. Yeah,
I don't know.
I've hit like 2.5 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
How long can you do it?
I don't know that. I've timed myself recently, but in my...
I bet professional vocalists, though.
I have good breath support.
Yeah. I can't do...
I mean, it's like up at the cabin, everybody just...
holds your breath.
Well,
you're at the cabin, someone farts.
You're at the lake. No, I'm saying you're down at the lake.
Oh, you've had training.
Well, don't you do...
You mean you've had a lot of training.
With Elliot, you've never done like, let's see how long you can hold your breath.
I mean, probably, but...
And then you hold her under.
Yeah, and you go, at least 5 minutes. Beat Tom Cruise's record. What did Kate Winslet do it for? Like 7 minutes?
7.5 or something. Or 7 minutes
and also
15
acting.
seconds. Yeah.
It isn't just like sitting there David Blaine style. She was like, and also I now must be a character who's telling a story.
Did you see the Netflix doc where they deep dive on they got the cords?
Yes.
How long are they holding?
I don't know, but isn't it insane how they like kind of drowned but don't? And then they come back up and they just save them? And they black out?
What's the deepest you've been underwater? What, are you going to talk about your time on the abyss?
No, it's just so funny. Like when someone obviously lies, it's like 40,000 feet. Like, what?
Last summer at the cabin,
I have no idea.
I decided I wanted to see.
I think you told me this.
Yeah.
Which makes it scary because the deeper you go, the further from sunlight. Like you start getting into dark.
But but it was crazy how.
You touched the bottom, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, not of the lake. Of the lake, but not of like how deep it gets.
Do you know the depth of the lake?
Yeah.
What is it?
I think it's 53 feet at certain points.
Yeah, okay. You know, I've gone to a deep
The drop off is where we're at. It starts dropping quick.
You know when you go to like a public pool that has a legit deep end, it's usually like 12.
Yeah.
Maybe
Spring
18.
Lake in Rochelle was 13 feet.
Yeah. But like deep.
Yeah.
I got to say, it's at a point now where at my age, the last time when we were in Denver last August, there was a public pool, and I was like, I'm going to touch the bottom of the pool like you always do when you're a kid.
How'd that feel?
And the pressure on my ears, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Meaning, to answer your question, how deep can you go? I mean, for a contest or a significant amount of money, not bragging rights, that wouldn't be enough
20,
to push me.
Probably go 20.
I was about to say 20 might be where I go, I have to go back up. One, I'm about to breathe.
Yeah.
And two, my ears are killing me. So 20 might be my maximum. And the only thing that would push me to do it is a significant amount of like money in a
I was
bet.
deep enough to where at the top you couldn't. It was dark, completely dark.
That's what's
No, I'm saying at the top. But then when I went down to the bottom,
it were mermaids. Ariel helped me breathe.
There was still light when you get down there. It was very odd. I felt like it was somewhere around 18 feet.
Yeah.
It was like almost two of me above me.
You know what makes me scared in that situation too is that you can't push off to quickly resurface.
Why?
Oh, you went to 18 feet and touched the floor.
Yes, yeah.
I thought you meant like roughly you thought 18 feet in the middle of the lake and just came back up.
No. I got to the bottom.
Because I watched
but
you
at that
swim
point,
out to the middle from the dock.
Yeah.
And that
I swim across that lake and
that
back
scared the shit
in the
out
summer
of me.
all the time.
Yeah.
But I have a little like a flotation buoy thing that is around me that's bright neon.
Oh, what do you do around the waist?
Yeah, and then it trails behind you.
Yeah, all right.
And I do it when there's no wake. But even still, you never know. Somebody could. And then the other thing about that buoy is if you cramp up or anything, it supports you, so you can hold on to it. So I do it safely.
Yeah. I just watched a thing on Instagram where only the truth lives. And it was like if you have jeans on and you fall off a boat or something, take the jeans off.
100%.
Tie the leg, and you
blow
can
them up.
blow it, and like it will retain the air to where it can become a flotation device. Now think about today's blue jeans. Impossible. So many predetermined holes in those jeans. You're fucked. That's why I buy. It becomes a clear ad. That's why I buy a Wrangler.
Before we go to the break,
in case I fall off a cruise.
I have to ask you: have you ever bought jeans with pre-rips?
Not, and I've been using this word a lot. Not egregious rips, but I definitely have bought jeans that have some knickknacks, where you go, little ticker tacker.
Okay.
American what do you
Eagle?
Call that, Listen? What do you? Why do I think you would know?
Some weather.
Why do I think a woman must know fashion?
Distressed.
Well, yeah.
Distressed.
So like
slightly distressed.
Gently.
Did you buy
not just a fade? I mean a legitimate a little like. I wish I had some on to show you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But not. You probably wouldn't notice
a little bit of thread.
Yeah, you get it.
Did you ever buy a hat where the bill was pre-ripped?
No, I wouldn't like that.
Because that was in our
that was in our early 2000s.
Yes.
I have one of those from Abercrombie.
But hates pizza. Hates pizza and pasta.
Question I feel like I know the answer to, and it's better be
I went back to that place again last night. Side story for our audience has no idea what I'm talking about.
Better?
Much better. There's a restaurant in LA where they fly the pasta in from Italy, and yet it still only costs like $15, $16 something for like a plate of pasta. It was better this time.
Have you ever bought jeans that has stuff on the back pockets?
Like filigree?
Is that what that's called?
Like doodly doos?
Yeah, or what's
I'm
the
pretty
New
sure
Orleans?
it's called doodly doos.
What's the New Orleans thing?
Yeah, the fleur-de-lis.
Yeah.
Fleur-de-lis, but it's like you get the
you get a boss
who goes, I don't like the doodly doos we're doing this year.
No, you haven't, right?
And they're like fleur-de-lis. No, the only time I bought something that was even close, religion? It's very true religion. The only time I got close was a pair of diesel jeans. When I first started stand-up, it's when I actually had a job, an actual like salaried job, and I bought some diesel jeans, and I gotta say, they didn't have that, but I fucking loved those diesel jeans. It was the first time I bought like designer jeans that actually, when people are like, oh, they're so expensive, I'm like, yeah, but also these last way longer than my other $30
that I brought pre-ripped
jeans that I would buy. I go, these might be more expensive. I think they were like $120 at the time. And I was like, that's insane.
Of course.
I wore them all the fucking time, and I'm not even lying. If I still had them now, you could still wear them. They were very durable.
Okay.
Anyways, that would have been
nothing on the
20 years ago I probably bought them.
But nothing on the pocket.
There was, I think, on the back pocket, but it wasn't what it became with the insanity. You probably wouldn't notice it unless I point out there's a little thread that does a little circle. Like it wasn't, because I hate that. I fucking hate the pocket.
When I
thing.
see a guy with,
I
feel like
hate it.
Vegas is the only time I still see that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
because it's accompanied by an Ed Hardy.
Yes,
shirt.
it's so.
But I'm always
Hardy.
like, look at that guy's little flair.
It does shock you
Look
that
at
it's
his
still
little
a
flair.
thing. It does shock you that it's still a thing.
Shocks me.
Yeah, I don't like
But
it.
also make yourself happy. Who cares?
Look, hey, but also, we're allowed to have our opinions. You're not being a dick. You're just going, that's a
No, I'm
crazy
saying I'm not
look."
going to rip them off of you. But
I'm not stealing them.
But look at you.
I don't want to insult you that I'm not willing to steal from you.
Right. I'm not going to pants you.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh my God. Somebody send us a letter about pants.
Give me these
getting
true
pantsed.
religions.
Or if you were a pantser and you've realized, man, what a horrible thing you were doing.
There's still some brands out there that are. I've been to. I was at Nordstrom. I went and was looking around Nordstrom. There's still some brands that instead of going, oh, that style's done, doubled down, and now the jeans are so fucking crazy, and you're just looking at that like, who is doing this? Who is like, these are the jeans, these are the ones.
But I guess I am a man who owns shorts that have
Our
two
next
huge roses.
The next
front
time
of
we
them.
do
But
a
that
live
felt
event,
appropriate.
next time we do a live event, we have to show up in what we both think are the craziest version of these jeans.
Are we going to talk about it or not acknowledge it at all?
No, if someone hears this or sees this episode, they're the only ones who are like, they talked about this. They said this would happen. Should we take a break and then get into it?
Yeah.
We'll be right back after these messages. think you're doing it. I think you're starting it.
Okay.
Oh, it's in here. Why did I think? Good luck. Good luck. Oh, snail mail. Daniel, how would someone have given this or mailed it to us?
Care of the Pen Pals podcast, 5419.
Don't you break eye contact with me.
Sweet Hollywood, California.
Boulevard. Sweet C.
number 121.
Los Angeles,
California.
And then I look for my one easy part, 90027. I hope our people are like,
can I make
what did he say? Yeah. This is vodka. This is straight gin.
Do you smell that?
Oh, is it bad?
Oh, my God.
I think there was nail polish remover in there or something.
It does have a smell.
Oh, my God.
What, you know what?
Don't drink it.
Do you know what was in there?
Oh, you just don't like the idea of it. I agree. That smell is
I feel like
tough.
it was like nail polish
Bad
remover.
water.
Do you want me to run and grab you a liquid death for when I need to refer?
No, we don't have any.
Yeah, we do.
We do. I'll go grab it.
go-
You stay. Leave it recording. Tell a secret, Daniel.
Man, I don't really have any good secrets.
Not one. No,
I mean, I
thank you.
probably do, but this is how you
No, thanks.
bury your trauma. I wish we could add Foley stuff here that sounds like Rory's going way upstairs, unlocking a whole bunch of locks.
Now I
Glug, glug, glug.
Just leave this here.
Well, that probably will be there forever now.
Well, we don't want the jump cut. Or do we?
What?
Are we going to leave this in?
Leave all this in.
Okay.
Did you know this company just got valued at $1.4 billion?
That's why I
fastest growing
invested
beverage
early on
company.
as a early investor.
I have an
Jet
investment that
now.
I'm watching
Oh.
that I want to buy.
Oh, that you're watching to see if you want to get into it.
At first, it was at $28 a couple years ago. I was like, man, I should have gotten in. And then it went down and down and down, and now it's at $13 a stock.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Is it True Religion jeans? Or is it Canadian Club,
Canadian.
1858? If you're looking to have a cabin deluxe, don't hide from a blended Canadian whiskey or a Seagram's.
7 and 7 is such a. I'm a man at a wedding
It's
order.
easier.
Okay, you ready?
7 rocks. 7 rocks.
This
It's nice, right?
I
It's
think it
in
was
a thing.
handed to us.
Is that laminated?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a protective seal.
Oh, wow.
Listen, so imagine when AI really gets going. If this made Listen, I instinctively go, oh, wow.
Dear Daniel and Rory,
The simplest thing.
I think this was handed to me in Iowa.
Why do you think that? Does
in
it
Des
say
Moines.
it?
I just have a vague memory, and because of what it's about.
It says Des Moines on the. What is the postcard? What is it?
NASA.
I like that. That's fun.
I know, it's great. Dear Daniel and Rory, last summer I worked at the Iowa State Fair in my friend's saltwater taffy booth.
Big giveaway right there.
Yep.
Saltwater taffy.
The building I was in hosts all the fair's goofy contests, like the husband calling contest, hog calling contest, and cow chip throwing contest, which my dentist won the women's division one year. And it's a guy. I'm joking. Thankfully, she wears gloves to work. Have you two won any silly contests? I once won a watermelon seed spitting contest in a tiny town's summer festival. I'd love to hear your ideas for goofy event contests because I run all of my small town events for my real job. I need ideas. Your pal, Stuart. P.S. Come check out the Iowa State Fair sometime and see our butter sculptures. One year, they made a butter Garth Brooks. This postcard is from
1847.
I don't know. Do you think that's real? The bottom, that date? Or do you think that's just when the design was done?
or when that company started.
Or did somebody buy this at like a thrift store and that this is a postcard from 1983?
That's a great question. I don't know. This doesn't.
The front feels new.
Yeah, it feels like.
But maybe was that technology to do that sort of
This feels like ahead of
paperwork?
its time.
I know. He said, pointing at a space shuttle.
It's a great. That's a great.
It's got like a
But
mood.
I gotta say the back.
It's got like a
When you touch it,
mood
does it-
ring. Yeah, it's got like mood ring quality
This
to
is
it.
if I went to like a science center and that that would have been the thing I got myself at the gift shop.
Little postcard.
Well, a mood changing space.
I don't know. Does it change?
Yeah.
Look
Oh,
at
it does change.
It's heat responsive.
I gotta say the back is
Well,
tattered
mood rings
enough.
were around in the 70s.
The back is tattered enough where you would believe it's
From 1983.
especially like the over here.
Right.
I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
If that is meant to look like it's from 1983, they did an incredible job.
David Liquid Crystals Incorporated, San Leandro, California, is where it was made.
Did you where is? Did you finish the letter?
Uh-huh.
Where is like the Iowa State Fair? Where are the state fairs of like note? It's like mini Minnesota.
Oh, California has a really good state fair.
But like, there's some that like, there's one that's like considered like that's the state
Really?
fair. I always thought it was like
I feel
Minnesota
like that's how they all are.
or Iowa. I feel like I think the Midwest crushes the state fair.
Yeah. Well, Taste
Differently.
of Chicago, it's not a state fair, but that one's pretty.
I think they just do it on a different level where it's like
Maybe
they
it
also
is
treat
Iowa.
it with more respect.
Yeah, well,
Like South Carolina, I'm sure has a
Raise
state
up.
fair, but I don't even know. That's what I mean. But if you're from like Iowa, you're like, oh yeah, the state fair.
yeah,
Oh, that's a thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've never been to the Illinois.
Like you would
State Fair.
assume Nebraska
I don't
fucking launches it out of the atmosphere to the
Can we be honest with what you're saying?
what?
Because everything else is so boring there.
I don't know. I do like Omaha, but I feel like
Okay.
they just treat it with more like
I'm not
gusto.
boring, but I'm just saying, like, you got all the space in the world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Like Washington-
you're not known for like having a huge metropolis.
Yeah.
And so let's go all out on our goddamn state fair.
I went to the Washington one with Andy Haynes and his mom Anita, and that was
In Puyallup?
Yeah, and that was a fucking that
we
was
would
fun.
go. It was the biggest thing. It used to be called the Puyallup Fair.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Washington State Fair.
Yeah,
You
it
could
was
get-
legit.
Did you get a fair scone when you were there?
I mean, this was 06, I think 06, 07.
So you were off scones.
And by then I wasn't doing scones.
Yeah.
I was full muffin. I was actually doing muffins.
So the top.
But it had all the like agricultural things of like, come look at all these crazy pigs. And you'd be like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
wow.
And there's like a mutton riding contest or something. Little kids
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
sheep
Yeah.
like bucking broncos.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
so cute.
With helmets.
Do you want
And there's rides.
Do you want to hear the top 5
Yes.
most popular state fairs?
But do it Letterman style. Start at 5.
5.
And then we have to guess one.
The Tulsa.
Wait, hold on. Should we guess what
That
we
was
think
my
5
Letterman.
are?
Okay.
All right, 4. You said Tulsa.
Yeah. 5 is the Tulsa State Fair.
Like Iowa, I think is going to be on this. I think Minnesota is going to be on this.
Mhm. Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's a toss up. I can't tell. I don't think Ohio's on there, but
ooh,
I
I
could
bet
be
Ohio-
wrong. You think
ooh.
Ohio is on there? I'm gonna go Nebraska.
I'm going to go Iowa, Nebraska.
Texas?
Yeah.
Those are my
that's a
4.
good
And we have a little
guess.
bit of overlap.
You said a couple more that you didn't land on but are part of it. So, well, I'll do the top 10.
Okay, here we go.
10 is Oklahoma State Fair.
That's I feel like is
9
Number 10.
is North Carolina.
Raise up.
wow.
8 is Washington State Fair.
Nice.
Okay.
7 is Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
6 is Iowa, which is shocking to me. I would have thought that Iowa was
Lower.
higher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
their
or yeah.
butter
Yeah, yeah.
sculptures suck.
Then did
Garth
you,
looks more like Kenny Chesney.
Like
That's
Chris,
the complaint.
looks like Chris Gaines to me.
did you guys see that movie Butter? Oh.
Sergeant.
That is that's too good. Looks more like Chris Gaines.
Did you guys see that movie Butter with Jennifer Garner and Ty Burrell?
No.
No.
It's about the Iowa like butter sculpture
Oh.
competition. It was kind of interesting. Number 5 is the Tulsa State Fair, which that doesn't
I
go
like
right.
that.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
Tulsa State?
Yeah,
But not
so
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma has 2 state fairs each year. They
See
have
what I mean?
the Tulsa
Forgot
State
about
Fair is
that.
larger, Oklahoma State Fair, but Tulsa State Fair is a silly name. Arizona State Fair is number 4.
I almost said Arizona, and I don't even know why. It just kind of popped in my head, and I was like, nah, it's not it.
Here's one that no one would have guessed. The Big E is what it's called, and it includes all 6 New England states, and they all get together and
That's
do one
cheating.
That's
fair.
cheating.
I agree.
That's cheating.
I agree. Number 2 is Minnesota,
Okay.
and then number 1 is the State Fair of Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Texas.
There we go.
I felt it when you said it.
Where in Texas?
It is
Probably Dallas. Austin.
held in Dallas.
No.
Sand?
You keep sort of saying it. Sand.
It's held in Dallas at Fair Park.
Yeah.
2.5 million visitors. They get.
Jesus Christ.
I have no desire to go.
I don't know. I'd go.
Well, if we're in town.
Yeah.
But I'm
Oh yeah, I'm not flying in. Yeah.
No.
Anyway. Oh, I happen to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at a billionaire's ball.
So going back to don't let Jacoby hear that. Going back to
He listens.
You know what? Honestly, fuck Jacoby.
We got to
right?
talk. Hey, side note, we
I
need
know.
to talk to David.
Yeah. I have a chat. You mean confrontation?
Yeah, but I mean, we really do.
Oh yeah. To the point of this, we used to do a fall festival at my school, as like probably all schools
Sure.
did. And I gotta say, one thing I always loved, I don't know that it makes sense for this, but the cakewalk.
What's a cakewalk?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the cakewalk was everyone would like kind of make cakes. You'd put them up on the stage, and then maybe it was different, I don't know. And then on the floor would be all these numbers.
And you literally walk around like to music. Is
So
that how
the-
you
so
guys
there was
Oh,
that
I have
version.
a vague memory of doing
There was
this
that
as a
version,
child.
and then there was also like you'd pay like $5, which meant you got to pick a number, and you would just go stand on the number,
Oh.
and they would spin the wheel, and if it landed on your number, you got to go pick out a cake.
But
And as
why
a
not
kid,
but why not do this with pie?
well, I mean, you could. I think so.
Okay.
I think it was mainly desserts. It was called the cakewalk, but it was like some people,
People
had like
would bring
cookies.
treats.
And this is
Yeah.
where the
It was
term-
treats. It
This
was
is
just
where,
treats,
and
yeah.
it's easy, and that's why people say it's a cakewalk
Hey, a little
I'm
bit.
dead serious.
I mean, a little bit. It's
because
that
it's easy.
It was so fun. It was so much fun.
The cakewalk
And you would
was
be a kid who won a cake.
the
Yeah.
cakewalk was a dance developed from the prize walks, which were dance contests with a cake awarded as the prize.
Yeah. The one you're talking about was a little like musical chairs-esque, right? Where you walk around.
Yeah, so you walk like all the numbers are in a circle, and you walk, and then you stop, and then they randomly draw a number on whatever number you're
Oh, okay.
standing on.
Actually, I like that more. You don't get to pick the number. It's just you get what you
That's
get.
how they did
I
it
feel like
at
I'm at
Juanita
a.
Elementary.
I feel like
but
I like that.
I feel like I'm listening to like two people talk about how their families did White Elephant. You ever notice it's always like,
well, we call
oh,
ours
you guys
Nasty
do.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in thinking of like carnival games,
Yeah.
I mean, my instinct is that I'm always getting, it's all like a ripoff. Like, you can't knock over the milk jugs. Also, what are these jugs?
Man, I
what
haven't done any of
year
that
are these
stuff in
jugs from?
forever.
This isn't a softball, but it's not a baseball. What is this?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, there's too many elements.
Dude,
of
the
like,
one at Dave and Buster's where you got to throw it into the jug.
yes.
It's
you mean
this.
where the ball is this big and the hole is that? And
Yeah,
you
but
can't
it's
see it though.
this is you backhand it and you'll get it.
That's the
almost
secret.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. A little bit of. I don't know what you call that. Reverse toss.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
It feels like a softball pitch, kind of like
Saltwater taffy.
slow pitch softball. Yay or nay? That's what I was going to ask you. I almost interrupted the letter.
No, I almost did too.
Saltwater taffy, I can do about 2 pieces before I fucking am losing my mind of what is
By
happening
pieces,
inside
do you mean
my
a bite?
teeth. No, I mean like, because a
Aren't they
piece is
strips
like
and
a
you
bite.
Bite them.
They can be, but like I was about to say traditional, but I don't even know if that's true.
Those kind
But
that
a lot
are
of them
like-
are just like
they're
wrapped
pinched
up and
on
you
the
just-
end.
It's just like a tiny little nugget.
What is it even?
I think
It's like a gum,
I think it's glue that didn't make the cut.
right? And they were like, put a ribbon in it. Put a ribbon in it. These people will eat it.
These fucking idiots will eat anything. Make it pink.
I think saltwater taffy sucks.
I don't seek it out. If you got one out right now and said it tastes just like root beer, I'm gonna fucking eat it. I'm gonna try.
Well, 100% of it tastes just
I'm
like
not
root
seeking
beer.
it out, but I'm not so opposed. It used to be fun to go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the
Raise
like
up.
taffy machine that looks like it shouldn't be able to overlap but does, and so the taffy's
Oh, that
just in
thing! I could
motion.
watch that for hours. That's like my own
Mesmerizing.
episode of how it's made.
That is the first meditation app, actually. is
I would
that.
agree with you 100%.
So what was fun is that you would then go into like you see that in the window of like how it's done, and then you go see all the options. I got to say, as a kid, it was super fun to see how many different flavors there were. And I remember you would have like a bag, and we were allowed to pick out like, I don't know, a certain amount. So you'd try to pick out 10 of like, oh, this one's bubblegum, this one's root beer, this one's orange, this one,
Man, you're way more familiar with this than
Well,
me.
I think it's only because of this one particular place in Myrtle Beach that I even learned what saltwater taffy, that's what it was called,
Yeah,
saltwater
yes,
taffy
yeah.
even was. And as a kid, you're like, oh my God. But I got to say, even as a kid, I was like, I can't get it out of it's between my molars now. And now you're just like fucking annoyed.
Yes.
And it keeps hardening. The more you try to get it out, you're like, it's concreting.
This sucks.
Yeah. So that's why I say, like, on any given day, once a decade, I'll have 2 pieces of taffy. I don't want it.
In Wisconsin Dells, which is Wisconsin's Myrtle Beach,
Yeah.
it's all
It is true.
it's all fudge.
Yeah, fudge is a big thing.
Fudge.
I
Why
fucking
is
hate-
fudge?
It's too rich. I fucking hate
Give me
fudge.
chocolate or make a fucking brownie. But why are we doing fudge?
These like fudge stores, you know what I mean? That are
That
everywhere.
also have
like Rocky Mountain
like
fudge thing. You know what I'm
indigenous
talking about?
people children's toys on the wall.
It's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't
Oh my
like
God,
it.
I love fudge.
Of course.
What even is it?
Daniel, Daniel.
Who sort of wanted brownies? Right?
Who wants brownies from last year? It's just a brick of just sugar. Why do you like it?
I think it's so yummy. I think it's so tasty.
I wish there was a
because
way-
there's no pasta in it.
That's what I was going to say. I wish there was a way that someone's, and this is probably available, or at least it will be in 10 years, someone scanned our tongues with a laser.
Yeah.
And then in a printable form, I could read what Lissa likes to eat. And I could see like a spike of like, oh, I can tell she likes this much. This food that makes her this happy. This food, she kind of likes it. Whoa, pizza. Hates pizza. That would be intriguing, especially for someone to look at and be like, "Why she likes fudge? She hates pizza." Literally, someone could look at it and go, "I think this is an alien that came to our planet."
Like when I think about fudge, there's a whole fully formed man that I see, and he has on black shoes, high white socks, cargo pants, a red polo tucked in, a sun hat, glasses. He's holding like a brown paper bag and like yelling for Bethany.
And wait,
he just bought a bunch
he
of
likes
fudge?
fudge?
Loves it.
Oh my God. I was like, what? This is so specific.
And he has a white
I think
beard.
you were assaulted by someone.
He has a white beard.
Okay, this is a real
And
story.
he goes, come here with me.
Get away from even that. I'm wiping that off.
No, but I just mean, it's just like
fudge?
a tourist man, and a wife
'Cause
with
he
like a
also
Vera
has-
Bradley purse, and
He
they were
also has
just
a
like,
bag of saltwater taffy.
yeah,
for
and
that
they're like,
guy.
let's get
I don't
some,
like
let's get
fudge
some
to
of
the
this
point
fudge.
where when it's brownies and it's like fudgy frosting, and I mean soft, even then I'm like, it's too rich. It's too rich.
Oh yeah,
I don't want
mean,
hot fudge on a
You like
sundae.
white fudge?
Fahrenheit-
I'll
or-
go. That's as far as I'll
fudge.
go.
No, and it's only a little bit, and then it's too sugary. I mean, it's like it's like ganache for me. It's so
Yeah, it's too much.
Super rich, but I love
bite.
it's so yummy.
That's so
and with
interesting.
taffy, I get so excited. I'll have a piece and I get so jazzed, and then I buy a bunch, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what did I just do?
You
Like,
get like a pound bag,
and
and you're
I
like,
throw it all out because I'm
you're
like,
like,
this,
I won't
don't
eat
wanna
this in
eat
30 years. I
this.
won't eat all
horrible.
this. And the sad thing is, in 30 years, still just as fresh as day one. The world, the air and bacteria still hasn't touched it. It's like a McDonald's burger that you got in 1980. Still fine right now. Fungus, bacteria hasn't
You're
even.
good.
It's like, well, why would we eat this?
We'll get out of this, but we didn't talk about any contests.
I mean, we talked about the cakewalk.
Sure. Up in
Counts.
up in Wisconsin, in Princeton, Wisconsin, for years they had a thing called the chicken fling, and it was
Already,
a
I feel like I'm opposed to this.
no, you know me. It was a contest where they would have rubber chickens,
Yeah.
and by age group, it was who can throw a chicken fling the farthest. And there was a guy every year would show up in a full tux and top
Cargo
hat,
pants, white beard.
and he would go, "It's me again."
Watch how far I throw it.
Yeah.
And then, he just like eats a little bit of fudge, puts it back in his pocket.
Yeah.
and winks it.
Just haphazardly wrapped in a napkin.
Like, oh, I think I see why you hate fudge. Yeah, that
This
would do
guy
it for
in
me
a
too.
full tux and top hat, and he won. He would win. He won like 3-4 years in a row, just
Yeah.
throwing a rubber chicken farther than anybody. And then
Yeah.
on the third year, after winning, somebody was like suspicious, and they went and inspected his rubber chicken, and he
Waited.
was dropping metal bearings into the rubber chicken's little gullet, so that it would he would have the weight to throw it farther than everybody else, and it was a huge controversy. And now they don't do the chicken fling anymore.
Yeah.
But that was a odd contest.
Wow.
I love these weird contests. The hollering contests.
Sure.
The turkey gobble contest.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, I
know
would
this
stop
one-
for a full day and watch any weird contest happening, and then of course talk about it on stage that night.
Yeah.
I know this one is like so much more basic, but when we'd go to the fair, my male friends would spend hours seeing how fast they could throw a baseball. Period.
Oh, if they had a speed pit, like a gun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Forever. I mean, they would just spend I'm like, let's go do something else.
Without knowing, because I don't think you do. How fast can you throw a fastball?
Maybe.
And I mean today, not in your life.
Yeah.
We go right now and we do it.
58 miles per hour.
You know what? I'm so inexperienced, I don't even know what that means.
Nothing.
That's pretty significant.
Mm-mm.
I bet I can't.
What would Brody always say? 88 or 70, 78 with movement.
He would get up there.
Yeah, but he had something like that. It was like Brody always
Yeah.
goes, 71
Yeah,
with
yeah.
movement. Yes.
So good. The added detail of it. With
Yeah.
movement.
Yes.
I don't
You
even
got it.
know. I don't know what I'd throw.
Still heaters.
You know what?
What would your guess be?
I bet I could
mine's
throw
58.
it. I bet I could throw it well enough where if Brody were here and saw it, he would go, okay.
That is exactly.
He wouldn't be impressed, but he would go,
That.
that's better than I thought you'd do. And I would go, same. That's
I
how I
think you're
feel.
in the 50s.
Maybe. If I had to put money down, I'd probably go, I bet I could get it low 50s at minimum. Or at that, I could be in that range and go, all right, that might be my
In
tops.
5 years after we do another escape room,
Yeah.
we should find a place that has a gun and find out.
Oh, I mean, there's so many, but you can buy guns anywhere. Oh, you mean range?
Speed
Actually,
gun?
what do you have?
Speed.
Do you have you done a background check?
What,
Because
to get
that's
a
the only way you can get a
speed
speed gun.
It's a whole process.
Dude,
They just
you're
don't let
going to wait 3
people
weeks.
have
First
it.
off, you're going to wait 3 weeks to get a speed gun.
All right. Oh, did you sign this? Yes, Stuart. Stuart, I want to know everything. Please follow up. Send it over to the Patreon. I want pictures of these people and who won.
Yeah, give us some
And,
picks and some games.
Yes.
Specific games that you already do.
Thanks so much. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Daniel Van Kirk.
And Rory Scovel.
And we're back.
Bang, bang. You're in Plugs and Hugs with Roarbor and Dan Man. You like Dan Man, don't you?
I'm going to be honest, Rory, you've reached a point where
It's cycled back. I have to call you Mr. Van Kirk.
I don't know. I don't care what
You've
you
actually
call-
moved further away from what you were allowed to call me.
I mean, once you like abused me with Daniel Caniel, everything else is like, sure.
Yeah. But let me ask you, do you like Daniel Caniel more than Dan?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think someone was respectful when they came up with that.
I didn't. That was zero hesitation.
Also, Rory Maury Scory. I think the scales have balanced.
Yours is funner.
Did you come up with Rory Maury Scory?
Man.
I don't know.
When is what?
I mean, that was like month 1 for sure.
Yeah. That's
Ish.
wild.
Someone writes us, they're like, it was 4 weeks ago. You're in Plugs and Hugs with Daniel and Rory. I have a special on Max, and I have 3 seasons of Physical on Apple TV Plus, and I sell my paintings on my website. Go to roryscovel.com for that, and I've been doing some shows in LA with Chad Damiani at Elysian Theater. So if you're in LA, the best place to find all my stuff is either follow me on Instagram or roryscovel.com.
Nice.
I think that's everything. I don't fucking know, dude.
I'm at danielvankirk.com, and my first special, Rose Gold, drops on April 17th. The week or so before that, on the 9th, which I think is the night after you do a show, I'll be at the Elysian Theater running Rose Gold in Los Angeles. Go to danielvankirk.com. If you're in the Midwest, come out to Thrasher Opera House. They like when you say that name in the right order.
Right, go ahead.
Yeah, the TOH. Come to the Thrasher Opera House in Green Lake, Wisconsin on Saturday, May 18th. And if you haven't yet, watch Wine Club. It feels great to meet pen pals after shows. And when they say, oh, hey, like with you, I'm sure when people are like, dude, I fucking love Robbie. You're like,
You liked it.
Thank you.
People
You
into
get it. Yeah.
Feels good.
So I appreciate when people check out Wine Club because I also think you'll enjoy it. Other than that, DanielVanKirk.com. There's also merch there. We might have sold some merch. I haven't gotten any reports yet, but I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But you can get the I Wish You Well hoodie. So
I mean, let me say something about that hoodie. It's a fucking dope hoodie.
I love that.
And I'm not saying it's a dope hoodie because anything related to us is on it. And I'm not saying it's a dope hoodie because we make a little bit of scratch if you buy it. I am saying it legitimately is a very cool. It has
People
like
love the
it's got
responses
a,
they
like,
get when they wear it.
It's got a slim fit.
It does.
And it's snug and comfy. And I think it's a great hoodie personally. And I literally don't mean that because it's affiliated with us in any way. It actually is a good quality hoodie.
Yeah. Go to DanielVanKirk.com.
We wouldn't sell you guys shit. Although, just below that hoodie, we are starting to sell some shit. April 17th. You so excited? Rose Gold.
I hope people like it.
Final performance. Elysian Theater.
April 9th.
And then it just lives forever.
Yeah. And then when I'm in Wisconsin, I'm probably just going to do all the hits.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to one more letter.
Ooh, I like that.
Are you ready? Don't even. Let me just say this.
What if we
to
just
you.
name the bird Paper?
Paper bird? Paper bird.
Paper.
Paper.
Wait, what were you going to say?
Read along, but I also kind of want you to really hear me telling it to you, as opposed to you
Which one do you
reading
want me to do?
Just hold it, and if I say something crazy, go back to it. This is just fun. I think this is just a crazy letter for people to digest. Fellas, long time, first time here, and I'd like to nerd out with you. The randomness in a shuffled deck of cards is absolutely mind-blowing. You may have heard that there are so many combinations for the order of a deck of cards that it is a near statistical impossibility that any two shuffled decks in the history of the world have ever been in the same order. But it's even wilder than that. This is where I kind of don't want you to read. I want you to really hear this.
Yeah, but my listening comprehension is really bad.
I know, but I think this will blow your mind more.
All right, I'll try.
There's a great YouTube video that walks through this, and anytime I want my mind blown, I go back to it. The number of possible card combinations is 52. That's 52 factorial, or 52 times 51 times 50, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So stop shouting 52 at each other. We've got a lot to get to still. And they're not wrong. We almost would have done that. 52 ends up being 8.0658 times 10, the arrow thing, 67.
Wait, the what?
I don't know what it is.
To the 67th
To the
power is
67th.
what that means.
Okay, to the 67th power.
Do you think you would have gotten there?
Never. Or I don't think I got there when I learned it in school. Or basically an 8 followed by 67 zeros.
I have to look.
No, let me keep going.
Okay.
That's a big fucking number. So big that if someone, here's where I need you to really listen. So big that if someone started shuffling a deck of cards, shuffling it one time per second, here is what you could do to kill the time while they were working through all of the combinations. Every 1 billion years, you take one step. Each time you walk all the way around the fucking planet at one step, every 1 billion years, take one single drop of water out of the Pacific Ocean. Eventually, you will drain the Pacific Ocean, and when you do, lay a single sheet of paper on the ground, refill the ocean, and keep going. Do this until the stack of paper reaches the fucking sun. That's a stack of paper 91 million miles tall.
It's going to burn.
each piece of paper representing one time you drain the Pacific Ocean, drop by motherfucking drop, then you're done. Just kidding. You would have to repeat this process one step every billion years, drain the Pacific Ocean, stacking sheets of paper to the sun 3,000 more times. All the while, the person has been shuffling the same deck of cards once every second, nonstop. Like, what the fuck, right? Anyway,
Is
love
it
you guys for the
Friday
moon
yet?
back, which maybe isn't very much after all. Can you...
That
Did that
doesn't
make sense to you? I know that's a lot to take in.
doesn't
It's a
seem
lot. I
real.
think you should go through it again.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Are you for real?
Someone is shuffling a deck every single second. Literally at this pace. That fast.
What are you, paper?
Not a bad sound effect. And every 1 billion years, you only take one step. 1 billion years, you only take one step.
Okay.
And each time you actually walk all the way around the planet, at one step every 1 billion years, you take one single drop of water out of the Pacific Ocean.
But
One
how long
single
would that
drop.
take?
A
I don't even
long
think our
time.
brains can
No,
comprehend
I'm saying
it.
how long would it take to
I'm
walk?
only now realizing I think this is bullshit.
Your pal Ponters.
Your pal Ponters, you stupid fuck. When will you get it? When will you finally get it? I own you. Like, oh, Jesus.
But
Do you think we've at any
This
point?
doesn't seem real.
Because it
It's only
seems so
52
insane.
cards.
I guess. I don't know. Until you get it back to being the exact same way it started, it seems like an impossibility. Like, it almost seems infinite. But apparently, after going to the sun 3,000 times
What would
over the
happen?
course of, I guess, a gazillion years, and I don't even know what a gazillion is.
That's what would happen before the cards got back to how they were before you shuffle them?
I think that's right. That would get you back to
The
the
odds
original.
of it.
Yeah. That's what it would take.
Can I tell you a magic trick?
Yes. Yes, you
This
can.
this is the easiest card trick.
And
you
this
can
is
do.
the most exciting type of magic trick when someone goes, "Can I tell you a magic trick?"
I've got a deck of cards. If you want, I can show you.
No, just walk me through it.
Okay. This is the easiest trick in the world.
The worst pitch ever is, "Can I tell you a magic trick?"
Look, I don't have to. Do you think that should be like our dating profiles?
What?
Like Rory, 43. Can I tell you a magic
Yeah,
trick? That's what it says.
I could
That's
tell
your
you
bio.
so many magic tricks. All right, tell me a magic trick.
Okay. This is great for like kids.
Okay.
The way cards work out statistically, this is another weird thing
Okay.
about shuffling cards.
Yeah.
That the probability is almost 100% that you can name any two cards in the deck and they will be next to each other, or at worst have one card in between them.
Oh.
So you could say to Elliot, we're going to do something fun. Name any two cards. You could say a king. You could say a king and 8. You could
And
say
now
a
does the-
3 and a 4. You could say a 5
Does
and a
the
jack.
suit matter?
Nope.
You're just saying the number.
You just say,
Yeah,
You
okay.
just say, a 6 and
The
a
identification,
6
okay.
and a 10, right? And then shuffle them, do whatever. Let them mix them up. They can do whatever they want, which for a kid is very like, oh, I'm a part of this. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
And then you just go boom, boom,
Until
boom.
you hit one of those numbers.
Well, you'll say they said a jack and a
Yeah.
10,
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
jack and a 9, whatever. You just flip, and the probability is almost 100% that you will either get a jack and a 9 next to each other, or 9 then jack, because it doesn't matter.
Sure.
At worst, you will put one card
Between them.
and you could do this with any deck of cards, any sort of shuffle for any kid.
That's insane.
Now, I'll tell you the great follow-up trick to this,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact equation.
That's okay.
I could try and find it.
I'm consoling about
There's
the
some
dumbest
math
thing.
equation.
Hey, that's all right.
There's some math equation where you say like, give me the year you were born, and then then you name a number or whatever. There's sort of like math stuff like this where you'll always end up at 17.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you'll always end up at 17. And so the great trick you could do is you do the first one, right? And the person's like, wow, you really put an ace and a 5 next to each other. The second trick is you already know you're going to do, and the equation is always going to end up at 17. The person gives you their birth year and then their favorite number and then a number, whatever. And so what you do is when you are doing the ace and the 5 together and you're flipping, you count in your head and you get to whatever the 17th card is. Okay. So now I know the 17th card is the 8 of hearts. And I just kept going until I got your 2 cards next to each other. Like, wow, you did it. Then the next trick, you say, give me a piece of paper, and you write down 8 of hearts, and you fold it, and you tell them to put that in their pocket. And then you tell them, what's your birth year? What's your favorite number? Da-da-da. And you get that equation, and it comes up with 17. And you're like, okay, so it was your birth year, you picked the numbers, and we came up with 17, right? And they're like, yes. And be like, okay, let's go to the 17th card in the deck.
I like that.
And then you go, I need you to reach into your pocket and pull that out. And so the first trick actually sets up the second
trick.
Yes. And the first one's sort of fun, and the second one will blow their fucking mind.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like
and then you look at your
raised religiously and then learning that it factors into politics.
Yeah, you go. So basically what you do is you do a very simple scare, right? And then that turns into a vote.
And then that turns into enslavement. Like,
and you get a vote. You get a vote. The first thing you just scare. It's a very irrational scare tactic.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, all of a sudden you go, and now who are you voting for?
And then you get
and
to pick
like,
who you're going to vote for based on what scares you. God, I'm not even going to lie. This is so true. This is like, sadly, just truth.
But like, I have reached the age in my life as I think about whether or not I want kids.
Yeah.
Where, and we talked about this actually after your screening, introducing them into media that you love, places that you love. Like, I'm sort of feeling the urge to it would be my 4-year-old or 3-year-old, get them jazzed for the cabin.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then also blow their mind with magic.
Yeah.
Like, are you a god? And you're like, I am.
Until you turn 14.
And then we're going to fight.
And that's when we hate
at
each
this
other.
cabin.
Yeah. And then you hate the cabin. And then when you turn 25, we both realize the error of our ways, but it's too late. Right. Time has passed.
Right. And I don't drink anymore.
And also, I don't even like the cabin. And I never liked the cabin. And sadly, at the end of the day, that's what we had in common all along. That's a whole movie right there.
I love cards, and I love.
Oh, here's what I was going to say.
Letter.
Have we talked about the Magic Castle and having gone there or not gone there? I can't remember if we've talked about it here or if I've talked about it with someone else or us off of the show.
You did talk about bringing Elliot when you brought.
Oh
Elliot
yeah.
Yeah.
Had you guys gone?
I have been. I went on Halloween a couple years ago, and it was unreal. It was so fun.
Yeah. Have you been?
Uh-huh.
It's pretty. I bring that up because of what you were just saying about that card trick and how like impressive that is, and how it is like a setup game and it's a whole thing. It's like, similar to stand up in that way of like, I've done this setup and when I do this callback, you're gonna think it's a magic trick, even though it's not. Like true. It's not crazy, but it is clever. It's clever in what it is. I think magicians are always labeled like weird and creepy and socially whatever.
Sure.
And I get it, sure.
Yeah.
But there should be a lot more respect paid to a good magician because that is a very difficult, bizarre form of entertainment that requires so much precise discipline and practice and focus. And imagine you and I don't have to reinvent the wheel of how we tell a joke or a story.
Sure.
We kind of get to use the broad
Although
strokes that have been there.
reviews are saying that we did this year.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But with magic, it's like, yeah, you can do a card trick, but when someone really blows your mind, it's because they've tweaked it or they've changed it or they've reinvented it in a way. And I feel like that's a lot of pressure in terms of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, magicians don't get enough credit, I think, for how incredibly insane that
Yeah,
medium
like
entertainment is.
everyone experiencing it loves it, and
Yeah.
everyone hearing about it kind of side eyes it.
Yeah.
But
And
like
then
when it's in
also-
front of you, you're like, this
Yeah.
is unreal.
And we also mock it, like, look at this guy, he's a fucking magician. It's
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's like in medieval times mocking a wizard. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he's magical. You're talking about motherfucking Archimedes right now, dude.
I have a genuine question for you.
Is Archimedes, is that who it was? Merlin. Archimedes was the cat, at least in the Disney version.
Oh God, I love Sword in the Stone's one of my all-time favorites.
Is it? Have you watched it recently?
Well, like maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Didn't hold up for me.
Why?
It's not. Nothing's really happening.
What do you mean with the
He
squirrels?
just suddenly is
When
King
they
Arthur.
have the duel?
He's just suddenly King Arthur.
What?
That's the best part of it.
What?
Yeah. I became he said, no invincibility. I'm not. I'm a germ. That's how he wins.
Yeah, and he gets her sick.
Yeah.
Do you believe in?
Magic?
Yeah,
No.
you don't think there's real?
No.
You don't think there's people levitating?
No. Now, do I like the suspension of disbelief?
I know you
100%.
do. Of course you do.
And I'm not here to. I will. As we all try to figure out how something's done, I don't spend a lot of time because one, I'm not going to figure it out. But two, that's like, I like the childlike wonder of we as humans can dazzle each other with something as difficult to do as, oh my God, was Daniel flying? Like, that's crazy. But someone can execute that. You're like, I mean, I have to respect that.
My thing is like, if somebody can levitate or do magic, what are they doing with that?
You mean like for real?
Yes,
I don't think it's real, Daniel.
but I know. But I'm saying, even if it was, what are you doing with it?
Well, they're an entertainer.
You think, and everybody thinks it's fake and it's real.
Oh, you mean they are legitimate? Magic is real, and they legitimately have powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing with it?
Yeah. I mean, if their
You-
power is only, I
Yeah.
know which card you have, and I didn't even have to guess. I already know instinctually.
Well, now you're just playing blackjack
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah.
But you're quickly going to get banned
Yeah.
because you don't lose enough.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like,
In
there's
terms
no-
of like,
Unless you're in some sort of Nicolas Cage, there's a secret war happening behind the shadows that the rest of us don't see.
Yeah.
Unless that's happening, what do you can't tell people you levitate,
yeah.
and we'd all know about it if you could. So what are you doing with that power?
Yeah.
Even if it's real,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you could like create flames from your fingers,
Yeah.
you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this weird?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get laid whenever you want, because hell yeah, that's a turn on for me.
I mean, that's some
Magicians,
harsh fingering.
magicians over the top, sort of like they ruin it a little bit for themselves. Like when someone's like, I make fun of magicians, like, and I see why.
Well, see, that's the thing. Some
then
magicians
there's
are
some
up
that
there
are
kind of
just-
doing a dance.
There are some
And
that
I
are
think
just
that's
cool as
sorta like-
shit. I think I might have mentioned this, but when I went to the Magic Castle with Deirdre, actually,
Yes.
and Mike and Jordan, I think, and their friend Ian, when we all went, the bartender in the downstairs space, they're all magicians,
down there, yeah.
but it was like, you guys want a drink? And we made a drink, and he's like, and then no one knew was there, and so he's like, do you guys want me to do like a little show? And you're like, fuck yeah, like this, yeah, and just closer than you and I are sitting with a bar between us.
Yeah.
Is doing tricks where like different fruits are coming out of the cups, and like you're sitting there going like, I know it's not magic, but the thing that is so fucking impressive is how your sleight of hand of pulling this off without me even being able to guess how you did it or point to a mistake so close is fucking mind-blowing. And you're not on a stage. You're behind a bar doing a show and making drinks. And I was just like, this is so much more impressive than people give it credit.
I agree.
Yeah.
But like rob somebody.
You're right.
What are you doing with it?
You're right.
Last question before we'll
Okay.
go. Can you do the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you learn?
The Bible.
I remember learning on Rosemary's front room floor. I just practiced over and over because I wanted to be able to do it like she could do it.
The sad, depressing part that Daniel's not
shuffle.
sharing, and I know he's built Rosemary up to be a saint, but she made him learn it, and she was pretty violent about him not being able to do it. She threw him to the ground. So you learn how to do the bridge.
Yeah.
Impress my friends when they come
I know.
over.
Cool, because I wanted to start
Wait,
to get
what's her
promoted
drink
from
again?
cigarette holder.
What's her drink?
As if she smoked. Rosemary doesn't smoke, you
Dude, you
a-holes.
just- you
Oh,
learn-
screwdriver?
Yeah, you learn how to do it.
Clank, clank,
You
clank.
have been living in
Clank,
denial
clank,
of how like fucking horrible things were.
Yeah,
Daniel
pretty much.
really builds it up like they're really close, but I think she was wildly abusive. And it was only that. After that, best friends for life.
Yeah.
But until you learn that bridge, you
Oof.
mean nothing. You are not of blood.
Nothing at all.
Chris, great letter, so mind blowing. I hope all that's true. And I don't know. If he ponders us, I don't even fucking care. We're so numb to it now.
I kind of want to watch this YouTube.
We're gonna find it. Actually, yeah, maybe.
He sent it. We've
Oh,
got
did
it.
it? It's in the thing. Yeah, yeah. We'll check out that YouTube. Chris, thanks so much. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
And Rory Scovel.
Oh.
I've hit record, so that's a good start.